Well, we're the innovation capital of the world, and I can't think of another project any better than having Wi-Fi connectivity in our city for everybody, for regular folks to find out where their minibus is, or where their favorite restaurant is, or how to get education opportunities in the city. It helps.
Now, mobility, social media explosion, free Wi-Fi. All the moons are aligned. People are hungry for more connectivity, and that's what we're doing with free Wi-Fi on Market Street.
It was led by the Department of Technology. They're really proving themselves to want to take on such a great responsibility as our Market Street, one of the busiest corridors in the city. So I want to thank Department of Technology for that. But they found some great private partners in the form of Ruckus Wireless out of the Valley, along with Layer 42. Both of them gave us some very expensive equipment to use, but also gave us some great guidance as to how to do it in a sustained way. And so that combination of the public-private partnership was another complement of how our Department of Technology is working. A government should work with the private sector, and particularly on technology, to do these sorts of exciting things. And it complements all the other things that we're trying to do to use technology in a positive way.
San Francisco is one of the greatest cities in the world, and it certainly gives Ruckus a lot of credibility to be able to support a service that works for San Francisco. Wi-Fi will become like a utility, just like power and water, and as such, it has to be pervasive. It will be available, I think, over time in all the public venues.
You actually do not have an agenda. You don't want to record the traffic. You don't want to monitor. You don't want to filter. This is in the spirit of San Francisco. It's a free Wi-Fi, no ads, no strings attached.
I actually live in Oakland, but I'm here on Market Street a whole lot, and not really very familiar with the area, especially this part of Market Street. So being able to just use my smartphone and being able to navigate around is just really, really helpful. And I appreciate the fact that the city is actually doing its civic duty and providing a connection for everybody. So thank you to the city.
So what does it take? It takes organization, structure, identifying the right players, the right partners, and then get it done and follow the plan.
It was a huge manpower effort. There were 3 different shops and crews involved in this. There was the overhead line crew doing all the overhead work. There was the underground cable crew pulling all of the fiber optics and the network cable, and there was the radio shop doing all the connectorization, turn on, and troubleshooting. There were no real issues with the APs, which are the access points for the system, and they really amount to basically a very sophisticated antenna. They're what broadcasts the signal out to the street that people can pick up on their mobile devices.
We can use a public-private partnership to hit up the other major corridors. I'm looking at corridors across the city where people traverse, where there's a huge amount of small businesses, neighborhood groups, transit corridors, where there's housing for everybody, and they just want to get online with their education hopes, or connecting with their friends, or just looking for a job. I think we have a lot of people around the city, whether they're veterans or others, that they're not just on Market Street, they're all over the city, and they just want that connectivity.
Market Street's very old, the conduit systems are very old, and Market Street has been dug up several times since they've been installed. So we had to deal with damaged conduits. We did have to run some links between conduit systems to link conduit systems so we could get the routes we needed to pull the fiber. And just 3.1 miles of fiber is a lot of fiber to pull in 3 months. So another issue was just actually getting the fiber to our shop, procuring it, getting it on the job.
Connectivity is not a luxury. It's not a gadget, it's not a nice to have, it's a right. Why is it a right? Because you cannot ask your citizens to be good citizens and be a part of the community and participate, and they don't have a voice. They don't have a voice because they don't have means to connect. So, at least for those who don't have the means to connect, now you give free Wi-Fi, and then you have your citizens that are able to play their role.
We pay a good amount of taxes in San Francisco. It seems like to ease the burden, if we all had access to Wi-Fi more or less when we're in the city center, we wouldn't have to pay such egregious cell phone bills, and people's efficiency is broken down into when they can connect to the internet. I don't know, it's silly. why not?
Free internet and free Wi-Fi is a way forward for all of the challenge divisions of our cities across the country, not just for San Francisco. Oakland, San Jose, Chicago, Philadelphia, we're all saying the same thing. We want our families, our kids, particularly from backgrounds where there used to be a digital divide, to be connected up so that people can look for jobs or gain the skill sets that they want for the 21st century. It's all about the futures of our city and making sure we take care of the 100%.
It's a pilot on Market Street. We're learning about technology, we're learning about connecting the dots, and the dots, you know, people, technology, components. Now, there are a lot of dots across the city. We have 130 miles of fiber, we have 200 plus buildings, we've got siren poles, we've got all kinds of points where we can say, well, what if, you know, what if we would design the same thing that we did on Market Street to just simplify and accelerate the implementation of the backbone, the infrastructure required to give Wi-Fi to way more people than just Market Street. And that's what we want to do, that's our vision.